Hi there folks, it's me, Aaron, Professor Thorgi, your guide to all things geeky, and if you watch this channel, then you know that I just got done making my first ever live trailer reaction video. Now, normally whenever I do a trailer reaction video, I like to take my time with it. I typically take a day or two to see if my opinion changes over the course of that time, and then I go back, watch the trailer a few more times, and then I sit down and I write out all the thoughts that I want to get out. However, for the Batman v Superman trailer, I decided to try something different. I wanted to give you guys my opinion in real time, so I watched it as it premiered and gave you my thoughts as they came to me. But I listened to you guys and I read in the comments and you all seem to agree that you prefer it the other way around. You prefer it when I actually take my time with these and let my thoughts really have time to form. So, because you guys asked for it, I'm going to watch the Batman v Superman trailer again and then give you my opinion after watching it a second time. Here we go. So, I had some new thoughts. Listen, I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about superhero movies. I'm tired of talking about too. I swear this is the last one. I don't care if all of Batman v Superman gets leaked tomorrow. I ain't talking about it. Although if you saw this trailer, it might as well have. Okay, yes, if you watched that live trailer reaction that I did, at the end of it, I said I liked it. However, when I sat down to edit the video, together a montage of all the stuff that I saw. Why are they making him Joker? Why did you guys feel the need to reveal what would unite them? I don't like that. I don't. I was trying to think of a nice way of putting it. I don't like that. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. And yet, I'm not impressed with it. God, I'm nervous. I'm still nervous. Yeah, does that sound like the voice of someone who actually liked this thing? Listen, I'm not saying it's a bad trailer. Okay, I'm kind of saying that, but I'm not saying that there aren't good things in there. There were indeed good things in there. However, a lot of the good things that were in there were things that I wasn't kind of expecting. It wasn't really things I had seen before, so I was kind of won over. And also, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm kind of afraid of the Man of Steel fandom right now. I'm not gonna lie, I've had to deal with this, I've had to accept it. Yeah, man, I'm a coward. Straight up. Alright, and yeah, whenever I talk smack about Man of Steel, my comment section blows up with hate and anger and righteous fury directed solely at me. However, I came out mostly positive on that last trailer, and then I saw all of your reactions down in the comments. Nobody liked this thing. And I don't know if that was like the needle scratching on the record that just kind of was like, oh wait, hold on, what now? In which I kind of had to accept, it's like, I've kind of been going nice on this movie because I'm so well known for not liking the last one that I don't want anybody to come in and kind of judge me for saying I don't think this is looking all that good right now. That was a weird sentence to say. Let me clear that up for you. I'm so afraid that people are going to jump on me and go, oh, you're just some Marvel fanboy, that I am being super nice and trying to be so nice to this upcoming movie that I had to accept I was kind of being too nice on that last trailer. And it wasn't just you guys in the comments down below, although I do appreciate all of your comments and they mean a lot. Thank you very much. But it wasn't just that. I work in a comic book store, and whenever there is a superhero movie trailer that comes out, everybody's talking about it the next day. Whenever there is any piece of casting news, everybody's talking about it the next day. After the Civil War trailer that just came out, people were going nuts for it in my store. Everyone was talking about it. The day after that Batman v Superman trailer came out, this is not an exaggeration. I swear to you, this is absolutely true. Nobody in my store talked about it. If a trailer looks terrible, at least people talk about it, but this was odd. This was almost ominous. The only person in my store who actually talked about this thing, once again, I swear to you this is true, the only person in my 8-hour shift on that Thursday who actually talked about this trailer was a fellow employee of mine who, after working with me for 2 hours and the crowd started to die down and there wasn't really anybody in the store and there was a lull in activity, we were just sitting there, and then all of a sudden he turns to me and just goes, "Oh, dude, Batman v Superman, how come we haven't talked about this yet?" I was like, wow. That is the only reason this thing is being talked about, is because there's nothing else for us to say right now. So after all that, I had to go back and I had to watch it again. And watching it the second time, you know, now that I knew that the good things were going to be there in that trailer that I had seen the first time around, they weren't there to razzle and dazzle me anymore. And I could kind of see this trailer more for what it actually was. And I began to realize that the negatives that I pointed out when I first saw it were actually a lot more negative and had a lot more to say about this movie than I thought. Now again, I am not coming in and saying this movie is going to be bad. I think that's kind of a bullshit thing to do when someone comes out and just goes, "Oh, this movie's gonna be garbage." Talking smack about something that you haven't seen and physically is impossible for you to have seen is not a practice that I am a fan of. However, I can look at my past experiences with this franchise and look at the thing that they provided me under these circumstances that was provided in, and I can form an opinion about that, and that's exactly what I'm about to do. Now, let me ease this blow for everybody a little bit, because I will say there are still good things about this trailer. I do think that Ben Affleck looks like he's gonna be a pretty good Batman. Bruce Wayne seems a little bit more slovenly than the Bruce Wayne I like. Like, he looks like a guy who's just done. But then again, he's playing an older Bruce Wayne, so honestly, that's understandable. I'm okay with that. And Henry Cavill, this is the first time that we have seen him as Clark Kent. I'm okay with that Clark Kent. It looked like he was gonna be pretty darn good in there. And the action scenes between Batman and Superman, those do look darn good. I poke fun at Zack Snyder a lot, but damn, that guy can direct action when he wants to, so those actually do look good. And also, when it comes to Superman unmasking Batman and the giant bugs flying around and all that, I was like, if this turns out to be a dream, that is going to be such a cheap way to get audiences in the seats, by showing them all this dramatic stuff and then having it turn out that isn't something that actually happened. However, someone contacted me on Twitter and said that the big rumor going around is that this is actually going to be a vision that Wonder Woman has, and that is what will cause her to leave her island and come to America, because she sees a future in which Batman and Superman are allowed to fight, and this is why she gets introduced, because she has to come in and stop them from fighting. And when I heard that, I went, that's kind of like a dream, but I will accept this, because that actually would be a good way to introduce Wonder Woman, and it would be a pretty good explanation for why they are putting her in the Batman vs. Superman movie. I would actually be okay with that. So if it turns out that that's what's going on, I am cool with that. So okay, those are all positives. So if you are a Man of Steel and Zack Snyder and Batman v Superman supporter, now would be a great time for you to leave a like and a comment and a subscribe, and please turn off the video. I'll wait. Are they gone? Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks on this. Lex Luthor. Goddamn. Alright, brother. I know that everybody freaked the hell out when Jesse Eisenberg was picked to be Lex Luthor, and I'll admit, I didn't think he was going to be a good choice for it. I know a lot of people who came in and were going, "Nah, man, did you see the way that he was playing Zuckerberg in The Social Network? That dude can totally play an evil villain." It's like, no, he can play an angry nerd loner, okay? That is not Lex Luthor, okay? But if Man of Steel taught me anything, it's that I, as a comic book nerd, have to take everything I know about these characters and push them aside. And so I did that. And I said to myself, you know what? I can't see Jesse Eisenberg being Lex Luthor, but I can see him being a villain. I can see them creating a brand new character that is called Lex Luthor and shares some similarities with him and is made in some kind of an honor of him. And I can see him playing that well. I can see them creating a character for this movie that he will play that will be good. Okay, I will accept that. So just show me what you got. And they showed me what they had. And oh my god, I want no part of this. Like I said, I accepted that he was not going to be the Lex Luthor that I wanted. But forget Lex Luthor, okay? Don't ask yourself, does this look like Lex Luthor? Ask yourself, what you saw in this trailer, does it look like a character who you want to see on screen for 2 hours? Pretend you have never heard of any of these people in your life, and look at the little sniveling, jokey, little a-hole D-bag, other letter and noun that I can throw out there, and ask yourself, would I actually want to listen to this guy for 2 hours? I wanted to punch that dude in the face just from this trailer, and not in the, oh, he's the villain, I want you, no, but in the, God, would you just shut up kind of way. There is that scene in which he is on the roof with Amy Adams, and she says, you're a psychopath, and he goes, that is a 3-syllable word for someone whose mind is too little to grasp greatness, or whatever it was they said, and he just flicks her in the head, and I just thought, when that scene actually happens in the movie, there had better be like 20 dudes behind him pointing guns at her, because anybody else who finds out that this little sniveling snot is playing something this evil, they would deck him. They would deck him just for the way that he's acting. But nobody would let this guy actually be that much of a douche and not try and stop him, okay? I don't care if you have superpowers or not. You would tackle that guy if you saw him on the street and someone went, he's trying to get 2 superheroes to fight in our city, and you go, what? And then just rush him, okay? Because he is that annoying in this trailer. And again, I know that I have already made this point, but so many people, when they saw Man of Steel, said, man, they're just trying to turn Superman into Batman. And when I watched this trailer, it could not be more clear. They are just trying to turn Lex Luthor into the Joker. He is so the Joker in this trailer. He even has Heath Ledger's haircut, for God's sakes. And guys, you failed at that even, because he doesn't seem like the Joker, which by the way, he shouldn't. But he seems like, you know that guy when you were in high school? He wasn't the cool guy, he wasn't the tough guy, he was the little Weasley annoying guy who just hung out with the cool guy and would just try and start crap. The guy would be like, hey, this guy just said this thing about you, are you gonna let him say that? Which, maybe that's what they're going for, because he is actually doing that with Superman and Batman in this trailer, so maybe that was the plan. But if that was the plan, that was a bad plan. You had a bad plan, guys. And that is not who you want Lex Luthor to be. There is that moment in which Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are squaring off. You got Superman and Batman right there, and then he comes in the middle. You want a guy who can stand shoulder to shoulder with him. I don't even mean that as like a hype joke, okay? I just mean in form of presence. You need a force that when they show up, it's like, oh shoot, the third party has arrived. No, it's just the Weasley guy showing up. It's like, so you gotta fight him? Huh? You gotta do that? That is not who we need in this movie, okay? So, okay, that's it for Lex Luthor. Let's move on. Doomsday. Doomsday. Porqué Doomsday. Now, I'm not saying that Doomsday shouldn't be in a movie. No, Doomsday is a cool character. He could totally be a great villain for a movie. He could be a great, huge force that the heroes have to fight. I know he's kind of brainless, so maybe he shouldn't be the main villain. I'm fine with him not being that. However, if he is going to be the big thing that you gotta fight, don't put him in the movie titled Batman vs. Superman, because that's what everyone is coming to see. That is the star feature of this movie. You put Doomsday in there, it kind of feels like he's just a side note. It kind of feels like he's being wasted by just being put in here, because you watch that trailer, it really looks like he's just going to show up in the last 15 minutes of this film as the thing that forces them to unite together to fight. Which, don't get me wrong, Batman and Superman should unite at the end of this. They should come to an understanding and go, oh, okay, we're actually on the same side. However, Lex Luthor can have a Doomsday device. They can have a giant Metallo robot that they gotta fight. That's, that's nothing wrong. You throw Doomsday in there, all of a sudden it's like, where the hell did this thing come from? Yeah, Doomsday is the knockdown, drag-out fight that lasts for half an hour in and of itself. Not the thing that just comes in at the very end and then Superman and Batman have to figure out a plan to stop it. No, he needs an introduction, he needs a whole build-up. This really feels like it is just coming out of left field, okay? And let's talk about the way that he looks. Listen, I had a problem with how thin he was, because, yeah, like, his waist is way smaller than the upper half of his body. It just looks weird to me. But, once again, talking about me, honestly, just being afraid of people judging me for the films that I enjoy, when I first saw him, my first thought was, he looks just like Abomination from Incredible Hulk. But I didn't say anything. I kept that inside because you guys know I love the Marvel films. I knew that if I had said that, someone would come in and go, oh, you're just a Marvel fanboy. But then all of a sudden I saw the rest of the internet go, why is Emil Blonsky in this movie? And I was like, oh, thank God it's not just me. Yes, I haven't been brainwashed by my love of the Marvel films. He actually looks like Abomination. And the Ninja Turtle. Oh my God, I did not see the Ninja Turtle at first. Okay, I will admit that. I did not see the Ninja Turtle in there at all until I saw this. And now I can't not see it. And I'll be honest with you, maybe this one's me just nitpicking, but the special effects on him and the city, they don't quite look done yet. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's because it's not done. The movie hasn't come out yet. It comes out in 3 months. Alright, it comes out in 3 months. And maybe they're going to work their ass off in that time, but typically special effects are done before the score gets put in. So, I feel really bad for that conductor who is just waiting around for this thing to be done. And speaking of what the city looked like, let's talk about that explosion that he threw out there. This was, once again, one of my big problems with Man of Steel. It wasn't that he and Zod had a big knockdown, drag-out fight. I do have a problem with the fact that Superman didn't once try and get him out of the city or try and save anybody, but that argument has been made to death, and you have all already heard that argument. I will not dwell on it now. And listen, I do believe that they learned from their errors on that. When I saw the entire city get destroyed, I guarantee you there will be some kind of a line in here explaining why that city is abandoned. I guarantee you everyone in that city will get evacuated in time. Alright, I guarantee you they will fix that problem. However, it still kind of felt like destruction porn to me in Man of Steel. Like, even going beyond like all those arguments I made beforehand, it still just felt like, wow, so you're just destroying everything. Like, when Metropolis is a smoking crater, why do I really care anymore? None of this feels real, okay? And I know it's not real, but you need some kind of a connection with what's going on. And when I saw Doomsday completely destroy the entire city with one eye blast, I went, well, then why do I care about anything? If you can do that with no effort, and then you see the 3 heroes standing there completely unaffected by it, it's like, well then, what the heck are you going to do to actually make them feel anything? Like, why does any of this hold any stakes if that is the level of destruction that you're willing to go to for no payoff? Like, if he had done that and then Superman was even down, like, even if Superman was like, oh man, must get back up to something, then okay, be like, oh dang, this is a huge, powerful force. But when you have this huge, powerful force, and the heroes themselves are just standing up like, yeah, alright, whatever, not even a speck of dust on my cape, it's like, then why did you bother destroying the entire city? Batman, for God's sakes! The dude with no powers is still just left there like, alright, cool, let me grab my gun and go in about. Seriously, why was he holding a gun? I'm sure it's not going to be a gun, but he was holding a gun. And don't come in and tell me, oh, well, Wonder Woman jumped in front of him and blocked the blast with her shield. That thing created a mushroom cloud that went in every direction, destroying everything in a 360-degree radius, okay? He did not survive that, unless the goddess Athena was in her shield and it popped out at the last second to form an indestructible bubble around them. Which, by the way, that would actually kind of be cool if you did that. I would be okay with that. But unless that happened, BS. But that leads me to the biggest problem with this trailer, which is that they spoiled so much. And I know everyone has talked about this. I know they have, but I just gotta put it out there again. We now know that not only will Batman and Superman unite, we kind of knew that was going to happen. We figured that would probably happen. But we know what will cause them to unite. What is the big surprise villain? We know the big reveal of Wonder Woman that comes after the reveal of the surprise villain. And we know that the fight that happens between Batman and Superman will have no consequences. Think about that. Think about that one real quick, okay? We knew that they would unite, but they might still not trust each other, or Batman might be injured, or Superman might be injured, and they've got struggled through this final fight. No! Both of them are completely unharmed, they're cracking jokes at each other. It really seems like all this fighting that goes on between Batman and Superman really isn't going to mean anything. And I know, there's a lot that we still don't know about this movie, but holy cow, this trailer didn't make it seem like that. This trailer made it seem like that is how the movie is going to end, like, not even speculations. They almost wrote it out there on the page for you. And whenever I bring up all the things that it spoiled in this trailer, the one thing that people keep telling me, and I'll admit, I even thought this myself to try and convince myself otherwise, but the one thing that people keep saying is, well, we don't know if there's another surprise after that. We don't know if that is the big final twist at the end. And I was like, okay, you're right. They could totally surprise us with that. However, let's stop and think about that for a second. This is a movie that we already know for a fact is going to introduce us to this new version of Batman instead of his whole backstory. It will introduce us to this new version of Wonder Woman instead of her whole backstory. It will introduce us to the threat that will cause Wonder Woman to come to America. It will introduce us to this new version of Lex Luthor and his backstory. It will introduce us to why Batman and Superman fight. It will have the fight between Batman and Superman. Then it will introduce Doomsday. And then it will introduce Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman all teaming up to fight Doomsday. If you tell me that after all this, there will be another thing that they throw in at the end, it had better be a kitchen sink with legs that they have to stop, okay? Because they just threw everything in here, alright? That is a recipe for a jumbled mess. And before anybody comes in and goes, oh, well, how come you didn't complain about Iron Man 2? It introduced a ton of things. First off, Iron Man 2 introduced like half the number of things I just listed, and it is widely recognized as Marvel's most problematic film, okay? That is not the film you want to grab as an example for why this might work, alright? And even if there is indeed another thing that comes at the end of this movie, why was it necessary to spoil all the other things in front of it in this trailer? Seriously, for anybody out there who's seen Winter Soldier, I'm not going to spoil anything in that movie for anybody who hasn't seen it, even though with Marvel films, spoilers are kind of weird because in order to see the next one coming up, you have to have seen the previous one. But I still won't spoil anything in it, but just think back to Winter Soldier. Think about all the twists that were in there. Think about the twist of who the Winter Soldier was, of what was really going on with S.H.I.E.L.D., of what ended up happening with Nick Fury, of what happened again later in that movie with Nick Fury. Think about all those spoilers, and how not a single one of them were in any of those trailers, alright? It is not necessary for you to reveal that much in a trailer. Think about the upcoming Star Wars film. I still have no idea who these guys are, but they realize that there is a way to make you intrigued with them without just showing you everything. I mean, hell, for God's sakes, this is Batman vs. Superman. You don't even need a trailer for that. You just need that poster right there. And people will line up around the block, alright? Seriously, was there anybody out there? Was there anybody out there who was going to go and see Batman vs. Superman, but only if they knew for a fact that Doomsday was going to be in? Was there anybody who had seen all this promotion for Batman vs. Superman and were like, nah man, I'm still not convinced, not unless I know Doomsday is going to be in this thing. No, there was not. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what they were thinking with this trailer, and the only thing that I can think is that this thing premiered on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show 1 week after the Civil War trailer premiered on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show. All I can think is that they saw how much people freaked out over that trailer, and they went, we're coming out in 3 months. We can't have people talking more about the Marvel film that comes out 2 months after us, before our movie. Make another trailer right now. Make one that is bigger and bolder and shows so much that people are going to be forced to talk about it. That is all I can think of. All I can think is that they went, what was the thing that everybody was talking about? Oh, well, that they revealed Black Panther, and why didn't they reveal Spider-Man? You know what? Reveal our big surprise at the end. That is all I can think of. This trailer, it just feels desperate. I mean, going back to me talking about how this affects on Doomsday, do not look complete. Maybe they really aren't. Maybe they really were just like, dude, we have to get this out. We have to get it out now. People are talking about Civil War too much. I don't care if the final layer on Doomsday isn't finished. Put it out there. But okay, that is it. I am done. I am not talking about this movie anymore until it actually comes out and I can actually review it, okay? But until then, if you guys like this video, which I don't know why, it's just me ranting like a crazed lunatic for half an hour, but if you guys like this video, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button right there to follow me for more geeky fun about things from the world of comic books, movies, and video games. And if you want to see me somewhere else on the internet, you can follow me on Tumblr and Twitter. The address is right there. And make sure to tell me in the comments down below, how did you feel about this trailer? I already heard from a lot of you, but we've all had a week to process this now. So go ahead and let me know down below how you felt about it. And if you want to see some more stuff from me, then I'm going to put up my Civil War reaction video and that live reaction video that I talked about at the end of this trailer. If you guys want to check those out, make sure that you click on. And if you like this video, I know I'm asking a lot of you guys today, but if you like this video, make sure that you share it. Share it all over the internet, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it on Twitter, Tumblr, the website that I can't name because then they'll take it off there, but it rhymes with Schmedit. Share it on Schmedit. That actually has a nice ring to it. Can I start a website called Schmedit? Professor Thorgi, now on Schmedit. I don't know where I'm going with this. Alright, thanks everybody. See ya.